Hello Pokemon fans, this is ProPokeNoob back today to bring you another battle. Today will actually be a double-header mono-type OU matches against the first person by the name of King Giga and the next person by the name of Pikex. We'll worry about him later. But for now, this is the continuation of what you saw. I don't know, I think I've done the uploads backwards. So like I put that story of my training day before I put the... what was the other one? Whoa, what was the other one? I don't remember. Nope, put the story of my training day first. Who knows? Who cares? Look, mono-type match. So, you haven't seen this team before, I don't think. It's also been modified ever since Landorus got banned, which I am super upset about because it actually weakened this team significantly. And not just because it's Landorus, but it was because he was my special attacker who set up the Stealth Rocks. He's basically Stealth Rock, Focus Blast, Earth Power, and HP Ice with Life Form Sheer Force. So it's not like he was running the Rock Polish set, but he was a nice special attacker to deal with certain teams like Mono Ice and a team you'll see in a second. But this is my new Mono Flying team, just modified a little bit. I have a Landorus T, it's the basic bulky physical attacker. I've got Xatu for Magic Bouncing, got a few moves on there. I'm just trying it out recently. I've been using Sigilith, but I find that Magic Bounce is more useful than Magic Guard when it comes to protecting my whole team, especially since I don't have Rapid Spin. I have the Sub T-Wave Dragon Tail Roost Dragonite. I have especially defensive Skarmory, my favorite type. Dragonite, Dragon Dancing, Life Orb, Intimidate, Gyarados, and Choice Scarf Thunderous T. Now this team is really good. It does really well. Again, since Landorus got thrown out, I might have to just redo this team because it feels like it doesn't have enough damage coming off it. I have to rely on Gyarados, Thunderous T, and Landorus T to do the damage because my other three are the walls right in the middle there. But the thing is, it's just they can't dish out the damage and they're too vulnerable when it comes to certain teams. My opponent here, King Giga, is running a Mono Psychic team. Doesn't look overly threatening. I just need to know what they have on them, and then from there I can respond. So, in the ways it leads, I really didn't know because anything could have led here. He could have led with Bronzong, he could have led with Latios, try and get some damage off Jirachi. So I decided to play it safe, and I lead off with my Foresight. Wow, I just blew that. Xatu! He's going to go for the Bolt Strike. I am physically defensive. I can take that. I'm just going to go for the U-turn. I don't know what he has, but I don't see leftovers, and he does a fair chunk, but it might be Choice. So I'm just going to go into Dragonite to check that, confirming that it is Choice. I'm going to go for the T-Wave as he switches into Bronzong. Now, I am a little worried about Trick, Rocks, anything like that, so I'm going to send in my Xatu. Bounce back to Toxic. That's good to know. He's running Toxic. Then I go for U-turn, and I go out into Skarmory on the off chance that he wants to predict my switch and go for a Toxic again and go into Skarmory. He actually gets Parahaxed. Now I'm thinking that maybe he predicted that and he's going to go for Rocks now, or he went for Rocks when he got Parahaxed, knowing that I was going to go for U-turn. So I'm going to go back in, and what do you know? He goes for Stealth Rocks. I bounce that back. So much more useful than Sigilith just taking the Rocks and be like, oh, I'm not going to take any damage. Well, no, whole team cannot take damage. I'm going to go for the Roost as he gets Parahaxed again, so I have no idea what he's doing right now, but it's unfortunate for him. I'm going to go for the Nightshade. I don't know if I want Nightshade on this. I might put Reflect or Light Screen on instead of that. I don't know. I don't know yet. I might put Protect, maybe even. I have no idea. Nightshade hasn't been doing much, but he tries to go for Stealth Rocks a second time. I'm going to go for the U-turn, knowing that he's going to switch. He actually switches out into Latios. That's a nice chunk off of Latios. I'm going to go to Skarmory, being specially defensive. Turns out he's carrying T-Bolt. Didn't see that coming, but I am going to go for the Brave Bird, get a revenge crit. I'm going to take myself out with him, double down, not too bad. Shards sticking himself to the man. Yeah. Victini comes in. I believe I send in Thunderous T just to have a nice scouting potential. I am going to go for Thunderbolt. Thunderous T, you're weak. Holy cow, can you kill something, please? I didn't expect Victini to take it that well, honestly. I thought it would take it out, but, I mean, it's Scarf. What are you going to do? So I'm going to send in Gyarados, get the attack off, and then I forget that it's Scarfed, so I take some damage. I was thinking about going for DD. I could have, but his Slowbro still up, so there really is no point. I'm just going to potentially take more damage if he sends out something else that can take a +1. I don't know. But, like, it's no point. Slowbro's got to come in right now. It just makes sense. So I'm going to switch out, go into my Foresight, and this is where my luck dries up and shrivels and dies in a hole. I'm going to just try and stall this thing out with Roost until I get to a healthy place where I can just pivot out. But he gets a crit burn. I need this thing. I really, really need this thing for potentially Meloetta. I don't know what type Meloetta is, so I'm just going to go for the Psycho Shift because I carry that on this. I'm going to pass it off to him. He gets burned. He's going to go for the Ice Beam. And again, this is, well, it would have been really nice to have because Roost would have mitigated the Ice Beam damage. But now I know it has Ice Beam, so I'm going to send in Landorus. And you're like, why would you do that? Well, I'm going to go for the U-turn, get some damage off on it. And then I believe I switch out into Dragonite? Yes, I switch out into Dragonite because I do have the multi-scale. Now, looking at that damage, he is able to break my Substitute. But I'm planning to try and stall this guy out of the burns. But he's actually going to switch out and go to Jirachi. Oh, it goes into Bronzong. Whoops, getting ahead of myself. Whoopsies. And I'm going to go for the Roost. Now, I know I'm faster in this thing, so I'm just going to go for the Substitute. No, I don't. I am way off. Wow, I just had this battle. I'm going to go into Gyarados. I'm going to go Gyarados because he's going to go for Rocks. That's right, in before Rocks. I didn't want to take all that extra damage. And at this point, I know it's futile. I have to go for Dragon Dance. He's going to go for Toxic. If he gets paralyzed, wonderful. He doesn't. He gets the Toxic off. Deserve it. I deserve it. But at this point, I'm like, okay, I got to do as much damage as I can to this thing. Otherwise, it's just going to be too much of a pain. I can't take anything else out with Dragonite and Landorus T. So, getting it up to +2. Go for a Waterfall. Do a large chunk, actually. But unfortunately, Life Orb is going to bring me to the range where his Paralysis really cannot be used to my advantage. So, that is unfortunate. But I'm going to be able to send in Landorus T. Hope to God that I can take it out with a U-turn, and I can. So that's perfect. I'm going to go into Dragonite, obviously, because that's the only thing I have left. Now he has the 3 most annoying Pokemon on his team left. Jirachi, Meloetta, and Slowbro. And he's only revealed his Slowbro to this day. He's now going to reveal his Jirachi. Now, I'm hoping, please have Body Slam and not get paralyzed. He has Body Slam, and he doesn't get the paralysis. Yes! Get the T-Wave off on the Jirachi. And now here is where it gets really, really, really complicated. Because I go for the sub. I know, based on that damage that Body Slam did, he's going to go for it again. He can't break my sub. And with leftovers, I'm going to get above half, which means I can go for Roost. I'm going to get Multi-Scale, which makes it even harder for him to break my sub. So, even though he could, I could have set up another one and take it. But he's going to go into Slowbro, and Slowbro's being the real cock block here. Landorus T can deal with Meloetta and Jirachi. This is the logic that I'm going off of. I can do Earthquakes, and I have the attack investment, the bulky physical attack one on Smogon. So, I should be able to do a lot of damage. But this guy has Ice Beam, and I know that I cannot take it out from this range. Just, you know, assumptions. So I'm going to go for Dragon Tail, and I realize this is probably the most dangerous thing I could do, because if Meloetta came out, I would have been screwed, but luckily his Jirachi comes out. It is paralyzed, which means that I can go for the Substitute before he can get any paralysis off with Body Slam, or any other attack for that matter. But he's just going to switch out, come back into Slowbro, and at this point, I'm like, okay, what I can do, rather than Dragon Tailing, because he's hoping for the 50% chance that I can do it, what I can do is I can stall out between Roost and Substitute, try and waste all of his Ice Beams, and hopefully by then his burn will be low enough, or he'll have to switch out, and I can stall him out enough so that I can get Landorus in safely, be able to take out the Slowbro, and then his other 2 Pokemon as well. As you can see, the battle has now ended in my favor because the man decided to forfeit for some reason, and, you know, he had to go run his own kingdom or something. I don't know, King Jig is busy, maybe. I'm not one to judge. I'm just, you know, I would have liked to see this play out a lot, but this is why it's a doubleheader, ladies and gentlemen. Let's bring it on to the next one. Now, before you think this is going to be a terrible game, okay, first of all, I'm going to give this guy credit. He has a very, very good team. He actually does. It's a mono-electric team. It's very strong, actually. The movesets that he has on it and the items that accompany them, he played it very well. And this is not just because, oh, it's ProPokeNoob, who gives a crap, anyone can beat him. No, 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 no. This guy actually played it super well. The problem is, this is one of those games where you have to, this is the final test where, hey, now I can see if I've actually dealt with the main teams that could threaten my mono-type team. One of them being electric, the other one being ice. I haven't faced Rock yet, but Rock is pretty much screwed between Gyarados and Landorus T. But regardless, this is a challenge that I have to get through. The only OU that he has is Jolteon, but that doesn't mean that his team sucks. It just means that he has synergy with the electric types that he's chosen. So, in the ways it leads against this mono-electric team, I had to go with Thundurus T because, well, that's the only thing that can stop an electric move from going off right away. I'm kidding. I go into Skarmory. What am I doing? I switch out into Landorus T. Right, that's right. I wanted to bait out the electric attack. Goes for the Thunder Wave. That's nice to know from his Pachirisu. Now, I don't know what this Pachirisu is going to do, except he goes for Super Fang. That sucks. I need this guy alive, but at the same time, I can't switch anyone in or out, so I have no idea what he's going to do. He's going to go for the Toxic. didn't really think about that. He has a sash as well, which is just super annoying. But again, I can't switch anything in or out. He's gonna go for Super Fang again. That's gonna bring me really low, which has really made this guy useless. But at least I can go for U-turn and get switch initiative going. Unfortunately, though, one of the two guys that I need to keep alive, the other one being Thunderous T here, are pretty weakened, so that's not a good thing. But anyways, he's going to go to Jolteon. I'm going to go for the U-turn. I'm pretty sure he's not going to go for anything, but he has Rocky Helmet. I don't know why, but I'm going to go to Dragonite. He goes for the T-Bolt. Surprisingly, I guess he predicted my U-turn. I don't know. But as you can see, I don't think he actually predicts. He goes for the Hyper Voice, gets the crit, of course. Like, can't be any more annoying than that. Going to go for the Dragon Tail. Don't take him out, but he will die if he comes in on rocks. I take Rocky Helmet damage, but I bring in the Electivire. This thing is actually threatening. I don't know how to deal with it. I'm just going to leave this thing in right now to die. Ice Punch is going to take me out. I'm going to have to move between Intimidators here to get it. So I'm thinking he's going to go for Wild Charge. This is where it gets fun. He's going to go for Wild Charge. I'm going to go to Landorus T to get another Intimidate off. He's at -2. He does end up going for the Wild Charge. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and switch between Gyarados and Landorus T to effectively handle this guy. Sees it coming, he switches out, goes into Jolteon to be Death Fodder. And, yeah, that sucks. But, oh, I do actually go for Earthquake. That could have been really dangerous. Unless I knew that was coming? I don't know. Oh, no, maybe because he thought I would be Scarf. No, he doesn't know I'm Scarf. He's going to go for the Ice Punch. He's going to take me out. I figure at this point, I can't keep this guy alive. It's going to be a thing. But I really should have kept him. Oh, but Ice Punch, I mean, I could have switched to Scarf. It was a big risk. I don't know if he was catching on. I'm going to go into Gyarados, then bait out the Wild Charge again, get the Volt Absorb. I'm going to go for U-turn now. And I believe I'm going to switch out into Gyarados, predicting the the Ice Punch, which is going to give him another Intimidate drop. That's why I wasn't too worried about losing Landorus, until now, where he gets the Freeze. That cost me the game. I'm going to tell you right now, that Freeze cost me the game. You'll see why. I switch out into this thing, thinking that he might predict and go for Ice Beam again, which he did, or Ice Punch, which he did. So I get a crit, unfortunately, which also matters. I'm going to put him down to -3. Ice Punch isn't going to do anything now. It's basically being screwed up with all of its attack. I'm going to go to Thunderous Fury now, predicting the Wild Charge. He does go for the Wild Charge. I am reading this guy, but at the same time, I've lost my way of killing him. And, of course, I missed the Focus Blast, but he goes for Wild Charge again, which gives me a Redeeming Grace. Maybe you thought I'd switch out again, but I hit the second Focus Blast. That's not too bad. But, I mean, the thing is, my Gyarados has Stone Edge, and I can't hit this thing with anything else. So he's going to go for the HP Ice. It is a 2-hit KO, and I have to switch out. I'm going to go into Skarmory, actually, and he goes for the Roost. Yeah. You know what? I feel like I was kind of outplayed here. I could have gone for Whirlwind. I just, you know what? I thought it was dead. I thought he was going to... I thought, you know... It's pretty much over. He predicts that, goes for the HP Ice, and I screwed up, and it threw me off with this Freeze. That's not an excuse. It actually did throw me off. Like, it messed me up. Electivire could have been dead so much earlier, because I would have just confused him to heck, and I could have maybe dealt with this Emolga, but, I mean, I don't know. This just, ugh. I don't know what it is. I mean, I know what a good play is and what a bad play is. I just can't tell if it's me thinking that my opponents are too smart, me like assuming that they're so smart, like they would play like I play, and as a result they make really obvious plays and then I screw myself over, which tends to be my background, or if that's that they're so smart that they think I'm stupid that I would over-predict and they start playing off of that. I can't tell. It's gotten to that threshold point where I gotta play a team that like this. I gotta play a team that I'm using like here, where I know what it does, which you should be doing anyways, but it works so simply as just attack, defend, screw them over, and stuff like that. But I don't know. Those were excellent matches, King Jigga and Pike Hex. Comment, rate, and subscribe, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this battle. I am just flustered. I'm still recording this after that day of training. I've done all my recording actually in one day, so I should have some stuff coming, maybe some TCGO coming up later as well, but it's just after today, it's been so frustrating in 4 different tiers. I get up really high, and then stuff like just all this hacks just shoots me back down, and I'm not one to get discouraged. I just don't want to feel like crap. It feels so bad with the type of hacks that it's not like Scald hacks or Poison hacks, like 30%. We're talking about 10% chances here. 5% chance to miss, 10% chance to miss, happening continuously, it is very deterring, and it's not like I'm going to get a medal if I play 100 games in a day. So, that's a thing. But anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Until then, have an excellent day, and keep your head. Peace.